What if your body was a gift and contribution to your life and not something that you've been stuck with? What if your body could change quickly and easily? Right Body for You will inspire you and show you a different way of creating the body and the life you truly desire. Now here's your host, Donnielle.
And good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I feel like the Truman Show, wherever you guys are. Welcome to Right Body for You. This is Donnielle, your host and your lucky tour guide to the weird, the wacky, the insane, the funny, the ridiculous, and possible. Even if you think all of what I just previously said is the impossible or possible. I love doing the shows and kind of discovering, hey, what else is possible? Because it's interesting the stuff that comes up during the shows, and I'm so grateful for everybody who takes part of the shows because they really contribute to the energy flow. They bring in the questions, the judgments, the points of view that help energy to go what is required to actually allow what's possible. And, you know, that's the thing I love about these shows or the Access classes or Right Body for You classes is it takes what we've already decided is impossible and actually it possible should we choose it. And I have such an honor to facilitate the Right Body for You classes all over the world and help assist people with choosing more for their life and changing and doing something crazy like enjoying their body. And in that enjoyment of their body, their life changes. And it, you know, and it doesn't always have to be like, oh my gosh, my life changed. And it's like the heavens opened and the angels sang. You know, it could be something like, you know what, you have ease for the first time in your life. And it seems like a small change, but sometimes it's the small changes that are groundbreaking, are that we've been asking for, but we think it has to come with a big trumpet herald and something we can write about or blog about. But what if it's just you're happier? What if it's, you know what, you smiled more today? What if it's you smiled at somebody else and you changed their world? So what if it is making the impossible possible? And what if the impossibility that's possible is happiness and more ease? In an Access, we have this, the mantra of Access consciousness is all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And it's not like, oh, everything just happened with no problems. I tiptoe through the tune, birds sing to me, and all this kind of stuff. And that's not what we're necessarily talking about. So you can have ease with everything. You know, you could have ease with a flat tire. You can choose how to react to that, which that is a live example from the other day. We have a flat tire. How does it get any better than that? But you know what? We're like, okay, well, we're stuck in traffic. We have a flat tire. And okay, so what can we do? We talk to the car. We get off of it. The whole thing was really easy, which is interesting. And this is what the mantra is all about. All of life comes with ease, joy, and glory. It's not, oh, good things happen. You can have ease if you should choose it. And so sometimes that's the making the impossible possible. It was that, just life ease. Speaking of life, this is the topic for today. What if life wasn't about avoiding death? Okay. I know it doesn't have the word body in the title, but, you know, how much about death is actually attributed to your body? How do we look at that and go, well, death is defined as the body going bye-bye, okay? So first off, everything that is, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate? Cool. Right, wrong, good, bad, BIPOC, online, shorts, boys, and how much, here's a question for you for this for a moment. How much of your life are you living, okay, to avoid dying? I know it sounds like the title, but it's a little bit different. How much of your life are you living to avoid dying? Okay? Because we do this. We get into it's like, well, I can't die. I must not die. I have to be careful when crossing the street because I can't die. I have to eat the proper things because I can't die. If I don't eat the proper things, then I get sick and then I die, and I don't want to die because that would just be the end of all of everything. So everywhere we have linked death with change, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate that? Right, wrong, good, bad, BIPOC, online, shorts, boys, and beyond. And those of you who have not listened to the shows before, what that is an example of the access consciousness, the verbal processing that works on the energetic level. And you don't have to know what all the words mean for it to change. All you have to do is be willing to say, you know what, that doesn't work for me anymore. I'm going to choose something else. Because as we're having these conversations, as we're asking these questions, energy comes up, okay? The energy that we all be, the energy that is all around us, the energy that connects us. And in that energy, as we were talking and we're having these conversations, energy comes up. And we don't always know what it is, okay? We're having these conversations, energy comes up, and it's like, well, it just sits there, you know, and it can't move, it can't change. And what if some of that is what is actually sticking us? So here comes the gift of the Access Conscious Clearing Statement. And the Access Conscious Clearing Statement is truly for me one of the gifts of my life, and I see it as one of the gifts to the world. Because what that does is it's like, okay, so when we're having these conversations, asking these questions, energy comes up and it just kind of sits there and stagnates, right? So those of you who know like a stagnant pond with no flow, no water coming in or out, what happens to a pond when the water just sits there? Okay, when it stagnates, it grows mossy, it grows that kind of film, it kind of starts to smell, right? And sometimes it gets sick. So sometimes when we're sorry for all the visuals and the smells. Sometimes I know I'm pretty good at sharing kind of stuff. So when that energy is just sitting there, it can actually do that stagnation and kind of just like feel like nothing is actually possible. And then with the Access Consciousness Verbal Clearing Statement, the right, wrong, good, bad, BIPOC, online, shorts, boys, and beyond, what it does is it begins to open up channels to that pond, so that it's always refreshing and the energy or the water, you know, is continually flowing and moving. And so it really helps to shift and change that. And it also helps to change these points of view we have, okay? So that's the quick little version of the gift of the Access Consciousness Verbal Clearing. If you want to know more about it, you can go to theclearingstatement.com, okay? So let me say again, how much of your life are you living to avoid dying, okay? So somebody asked, so is this where the energy of change is mistaken as death? And I get these questions. Yes, I'm very good at reading people's heads, but also it's in the AtoZen.fm chat room, which is actually one of my favorite things. It's so much fun to interact with people and have them ask questions. So is this where the energy of change is mistaken as death? Yes, often it is, because we think that when something changes, it's the death of it, okay? And what if change isn't about the death of it? What if it's just about the growth of it, or the evolution of it, or the what else is possible of it? Okay, so everywhere we've misidentified, misapplied that if something changes, something is dying, truth would you be willing to destroy it and create it? Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, boys and beyond. Thank you. So how much are you living your life? How much of your life are you living to avoid dying? Okay, and also with this is it's interesting. Often this will come in that expression, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Okay, so how many of us are not willing to allow our bodies to change or our lives to change because we think, oh crap, what's going on right now? I can handle it. Obviously, I'm not dead. It hasn't killed me yet. I can handle it, but if it changes, something worse could show up. Because we tend to, for whatever reason, we tend to not think that something better could show up. It's just that something worse is going to show up. So everywhere we've also misidentified, misapplied change as it's going to get worse. Would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, boys and beyond. And that with the, if it ever turned out to be better, that it's winning the lottery. Okay? So again, everywhere we have agreed to this in any lifetime, past, present, future dimensionality, that if it's going to get worse, or if it hasn't killed you yet, you're able to handle it, so you won't allow change. Truth would you be willing to destroy and create it? Whew. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, boys and beyond. Okay? So one more time. How much of your life are you living to avoid dying? Okay? And dying come in many forms, not just with the body, but also of the death of, sometimes it's the death of relationships that aren't working. But when we refuse this death, we don't actually allow things to shift and change. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're actually going to talk more about this with Right Body for You show, death, body, yeah. We're going to bring the body into this. But as I've said so many times, there's such a symbiotic relationship between your body and your life. You change one, the other changes. And so this is why we do the broad spectrum of what else is possible with this, okay? So this is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You, and we're on A2Zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
What if you really do change molecules by your interaction with them? What if the change you've been looking for is right before your eyes? What if the uncomfortableness that comes with difference could be fun? What if the closed-minded people of the world no longer determined our world? What if gratitude trumps judgment every time? What if your kindness healed the world? What if the earth is asking for your help? And what if you had the resources to give it? This is your invitation to step into something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Picasso, Da Vinci, Shakespeare, Aristotle all knew to be true. Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. What if there are no dumb questions? Or any question too large? What if you being you are the gift and the change this world requires? Is now the time? For more questions to create a change in your world, sign up for a free video series at beingyouclass.com. My gift to you, beingyouclass.com.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You Radio Show. I am Donnielle. I am your host. I am your body tour guide. I am your giggle leader. I am the crazy chick who talks to you on the radio. I am not just a voice in your head. I do actually have a body somewhere. Right now my body is in Melbourne, Australia. With airs, I think I will be in New Zealand though. Yes, we are doing a pre-recorded show. We're actually in the middle of a marathon of recording an entire month's worth of show in 4 hours. And you know what? It's freaking intense, but it's a lot of fun. And I'm grateful to everybody who's calling in and joining me and contributing energetically to these shows actually coming into being recorded, and so you guys can all hear it later. All right. So today's topic is what if life is about avoiding death? Okay, and I've been asking the questions, which of your life are you living to avoid dying? Okay, and I have another question. Oh, everything that brings up, would you be willing to destroy it and create it? Cool. Right, wrong, good, bad, fuck, all night, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So I have another question for you in regards to your body and death. At what age did you stop creating body in favor of avoiding death? Okay. We do this. We go into, we're born. We start creating our body before we're born. We start creating our body. And we do this create. We get taller. We get hair in funny places. We hit puberty. We do all this kind of stuff. But then there always seems to be a time when, I've reached heights. I'm no longer growing. We have all the things we're going to with our body and our life and all this kind of crazy stuff that this reality tells us. Like, at what age did you stop creating your body in favor of avoiding death? Okay? Because it's like, everything that brings up, destroy and uncreate it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, Popoko, nice shorts, boys, and beyond. Because what's interesting with that is it's like, okay, so if we're not creating, what are we doing? Maintaining. And how many people actually like maintain things? Okay? How many people like to do the daily chores associated with that? Where it's like, okay, well, to maintain, I have to do this every day, this every day, this every day, this every day. And the sameness tends to be what makes us crazy, in a not fun, crazy way, okay? So this is where it's like we stop creating our bodies, we start avoiding death, and we start the maintenance of bodies, okay? The maintenance of bodies is like you have to eat right, you have to do this exercise, you have to stay healthy. You have to start where it's like the body starts to fall apart, okay? We create our bodies, and then in this reality, the body starts to fall apart. You have to avoid that falling apart by eating right, by exercising, by going to the doctor, by doing the right things, eating the right things. Everything that is true, would you be willing to destroy and create it, please? Right, wrong, pop, huckle, nice shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay? We turn it into the maintenance. Somebody in the chat room said, that's where we were told. It's the beginning of the end of your life. Isn't that a cherry topic? Exactly. So everything that is, everywhere we've aligned and agreed, resist and react with that. Anywhere in any lifetime, we enforced it, created it, sold it. Truth, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, o'clock all night, shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay? So, At what age did you stop creating your body in favor of avoiding death? And what's interesting is I've asked this question in classes before, and sometimes it comes up at like age 2. It doesn't make cognitive sense, and it's not like our bodies still change or grow after that. But sometimes it can back in age. It's like, oh, we started we started doing the, falling the hell apart, and I must resist the falling the hell apart. Well, what is it falling together? Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, says that a lot. It's like, what if it's not about your life falling apart? What if it's about your life falling together? Well, what if the same could be said for your body? How many people are like, oh, I'm better now than I was in my teenage years. And it's like, that's an overcoming of a limitation. But here's the fun thing about overcoming a limitation, you guys. When you overcome something, how much of overcoming is actually you enforcing and creating the limitation so you can overcome it? Okay? So everything that, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, lines, shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay? So how much of our bodies falling apart or slowing down or getting older are we actually creating so that we can do what reality tells us of maintaining our body or avoiding the death of our body? So everything that is, would you be willing to destroy and create it, please? Whew. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, nine shorts, boys, and beyond. Somebody went over the hill or downhill from here. Creation stopper of magnitude. Amen. And all the implants and explants associated with that, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Cool. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, nine shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay. So at what age did you stop creating your body in favor of avoiding death? Okay, so this is why we're talking about the topic of the show today. What if life wasn't about avoiding death? Because honestly, you guys, look at this. How much of your life are you living to avoid dying? And with things like dying is synonymous with change, or change is synonymous with death, how much would we not actually allow our bodies to change or our life to change because we think it's the death of something? And what if the death of something is actually what's required? Okay, first off, everything that brings up destroyed and uncreated, right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, nice, shorts, boys, and beyond. And and this is where that when you have a headset on, you can't walk around too much because you try to pull your computer off of your desk because it's attached to the headset. Just the FYI tip for all of you listening. You can't walk too far away. I am tethered to my computer. It's really cute. But I'm walk around. So, if we do these things of where we think these limitations are single layered. Okay, we think, oh well, this trying to avoid death and having death and change synonymous. It only affects like the little things, or it's just one layer, but it isn't. Okay, these limitations, these crazy things that we do, actually have so many layers to it. Really, really amazing. What it is if you're not willing to have things change, if you're not willing to allow things to die, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your business, whether it's your body, whatever it is, if you're not willing to have that as a possibility, then you know what? You can't even allow diseases to die. You can't allow tumors to die. You can't allow anything like that to actually die, or limitations to die. How's that one to like really make your head spin a little bit? You actually won't allow that limitation or the judgment, the decision, or whatever it is that's been stopping you, you won't actually allow it to change because you've made death such a wrongness. Okay? So everything that brings up, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please? Cool. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, on night shorts, boys, and beyond. Because what if death was a choice? I have it. And what if death could be as easy as a choice as waking up in the morning or choosing what to wear? And it's interesting. Somebody in the chat room can remember what this is. Something about, like, there's a quote, easy living is hard. And everything that brings up. Everywhere we've aligned and agreed, resisted, or reacted with that. And everywhere we have bought, sold, and enforced it, and all the shiki implants associated with that, truth, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all night shorts, boys, and beyond. Well, easy living is hard, right? Everything that is, destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all night shorts, boys, and beyond. Somebody in the chat room said, I just realized I was also perceiving other people avoiding death as bonded as mine. Cute. Yes, very cute. And that is one of those, who does it belong to? Which is actually, something that should be brought up in pretty much every show. Who does it belong to? Who does that belong to? Because, it's like, as these things, where original points of view and judgments come from, I don't know. I don't have a cognitive awareness of it. But I do know we tend to share these things. Aren't we sweet? So have any points of view, judgments, decisions, or like almost all of them, 99.9999% of them, about death and dying and change. And all of you bought that were never yours, truth, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? And return the sender with consciousness and possibility attached. Anything does allow that with ease, destroy and uncreate it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, night shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay, we're going to take a quick little. When we come back, we'll talk about the choice of, and no, this is not a suicide pact show, you guys. This is not what I'm talking about. But if you listen to the first Wednesday in May's show, we talked, I can't remember what the topic was, but the topic was, it's okay to hate bodies, isn't it? And we talked about how not being willing to perceive it can actually make you the effect of it. Same kind of thing we're talking about of what if death was a choice, okay? So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about that. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, Donnielle@consciousness.com, or join us in the chat room. I know it's not a live show, but you know what? Next time for the live show, join us in the chat room. It's a lot of fun. People contribute to each other, we laugh, we have a good time. All right, so this is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You on A to Zen FM, and we will be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Dane here, and I would like to invite you to an adventure in being. I've just written and finished a new book known as Being You, Changing the World. Are you one of those dreamers? One of those people who's always known that other possibilities should be available but haven't yet been able to see them be created? Well, I wrote this book for you. In it, you'll find tools, processes, and unique perspectives to change the things you've always wanted to change but didn't know how. In it, you'll find an invitation to a different possibility for a way that we can be in this world that changes not only our lives, but by being us, allows us to contribute to changing everything planet-wide that doesn't work. Are you aware that truly great people, truly being them, is the only thing that has ever created a great change on this planet? Are you willing to step up? Are you willing to be one? Check out a copy of my new book, Being You, Changing the World. I invite you to go to beingyoubook.com for a free gift.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. This is Donnielle. In case you hadn't figured that out in the first half hour of the show, this is Donnielle. I am your host and the voice that you get to play with. And like I said in this show or some other show, I do have a body somewhere. And right now, I believe my body, as you're listening to this, at regularly scheduled time, I will be in New Zealand, the land of the hobbits. Just kidding, all my Kiwi friends. I am so sorry. But, you know, hey, us Americans, we like our Hobbit movies, or it may just be my family. I do have to admit, last time I went to New Zealand last year, it was really interesting because I had one day off. I did this big tour. I did some Right Body for You classes in Brisbane and Sydney, and then I attended a class in Melbourne, which is where I am physically right now, doing these pre-recorded shows. And I had one day off before going to the 7-day in New Zealand, and my body was a little tired. And I'm bringing this up because we're talking about death as a choice and how much of your life are you living to avoid dying and things like that, and be willing to change, and because we've associated that with death. And one of the things that's really interesting is it's like if we're not willing to allow our points of view to die or change, we tend to get stuck in that. And so why I'm bringing this up is it was interesting. So I had this one day off in New Zealand, and my family was very excited that I was going to go to the sheep farm where they film all the outdoor Shire outdoor scenes in the Lord of the Rings movies, the Shire, Hobbitville, as you can say. And I was tired, and, you know, this reality says if you're tired, what you must do is you must sleep. Rest your body, and you rest your body by not doing anything. Sit in the hotel room and just wait for the next day to arrive, okay? Well, I thankfully have some tools, and so I asked my body, I'm like, okay, body, what would you like to do today? What would be restful and nurturing for you? And it wanted to go to the Shire. I wanted to go to Shireville, Hobbitville. And so I did, and you know what? My body was energized. My body was renewed because I got the energetic contributions from the earth and from my family who knew I was there. And it was really interesting how once I let this point of view change and actually ask the question, and see, that's the gift of the question. It actually allows you to perceive beyond what that limitation is. And so, you know, in essence, you let it die, you let it shift, you let it change. And so I was actually so glad that I went to do this Hobbit tour because I felt better. I, as in my body felt better than had I stayed in the room all day. And so that's interesting. It's like, so how much of the tiredness of our body is the point of view of this reality? The point of view of what this reality says is possible or is not possible, and is the point of view that nothing can change or that change is death. Okay? So everything that is, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, Papaco, nice shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay? So what if death was actually a choice? Okay? Let me do this disclaimer again. This is not a suicide pact show. This is not what I'm talking about, folks. What I am talking about is just like, what if death was a choice? What if living was a choice? What if enjoying life was a choice also? I have seen death be a choice many times. 3, 4, 5 times. I'm counting up family members who have died. How morbid is that? It is true. I saw it with my grandparents. Death was a choice. I saw it with my mother. I saw it with my 2 uncles. That the death was actually this choice. And and it was interesting. My uncle had created this brain tumor, and he got really sick and came close to death. And my mother, being the amazing nutritionist that she is and loving her brother so much, was like, no, this is not going to happen. We are going to change this. And so she did all this research. She found these herbs, she found these magic drinks and all this kind of stuff. And he started getting better. And the brain tumor was shrinking, and we did all these massages and everything. It was an interesting time of my life as well. And he got well enough to where he went to the movies with a friend of his. Now, mind you, had been bedridden. And then he went to the movie, and he got well enough. And he ran into a man where he owed this gentleman $250,000 US, which, is not chump change. And he came home. He went, oh, yeah, I remember why I wanted to die. And you know what? He went downhill from there. He was like, I'm out of here. See ya. Catch you on the flip side, and on the flip side being death, right? And so he left. And what if that wasn't wrongness? What if it was just simply that choice? Because here's the thing, guys. When you wake up in the morning, you're making a choice, okay? You're actually going, you know what? I am choosing this. I am choosing to live. I am more. And you know what? There's still time. I heard somebody, I was working with somebody who is doing a new career thing. They're like, oh, well, I'm almost 50, and, I'm set in my career, and this is just the way it is. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Gary Douglas, who obviously they came to me for a session, they know who Access Consciousness is. I'm like, Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, didn't start Access until he was in his 50s. It's never too late. So once more, how much of your life are you living to avoid death? Okay? And why I say this is, if you will acknowledge that death is a choice, that it's not something out to get you, or that it's inevitable, or that it's like, well, it comes when it comes, and you just have to be prepared. If you're able to actually go, you know what, death is a choice, and I'm not choosing it today, how much more life and living would be in your life? Okay? I have myself come to a couple of times where I've been like, death is a choice right now, and what do I choose? Okay? I got really sick, and it's a longer story, but I got really sick, and basically I wasn't going to the bathroom, and I got my bowels, I got backed up. Sorry again for the visuals. And I got really toxic, and I remember laying on the floor, and I remember going, wow, you know what? Choice. And I could choose that right now. Because I was that sick. I was like, you know what, now do I want to choose to live, or do I want to choose to die? And I went, you know what? I'm not done. I have things I would still like to do. I see death as a choice, and you know what, I'm not going to choose that. And so in that essence, I was actually choosing life. And I did. I actually had a conversation with me and my friend, like, what are we choosing today? Are we choosing to live or are we choosing to die? And I'm like, me, the infinite being, I'm like, you know what? I'm choosing to live. There's still things I want to do. I'm still enjoying this reality. I'm still enjoying my family. I'm still enjoying this life that I'm leading. So you know what? I am choosing that today. I'm not choosing death. And then what was really cool is in that acknowledgement of what am I choosing, that this death is that this comes and takes you and that you have no choice in it, I was able actually to get past what I had decided couldn't change. And I almost immediately got up and went to the bathroom and released everything, and I came out 5 minutes later and I was fine, which my mom was about to take me to the hospital. Like I said, I was that close to that being sick and making that choice. But once I acknowledged that it was a choice, living's a choice, death is a choice, it didn't scare me. And it was like, okay, so truth, what would I like to choose? And I saw beyond the limitation, okay? That's what all these questions and choices are all about, is it seeing it beyond what we've already decided cannot change. Because when we've decided something cannot change, or it's going to come get us, like, oh, death is going to come get us, the angel of death, we can't actually see what's possible beyond that, okay? And that's the gift of the question and of the clearing statement, is it allows you to perceive what's beyond that, what's actually possible, turning the impossible into possible. So I know that sounds funny, but what if acknowledging that death is a choice will actually give you life in your living, and that you're choosing life every day? Because I'm telling you, when you wake up in the morning, you have chosen to come back to your body and be here. Okay? And we're going to take a quick little break, and I'm going to let you ponder that for a minute. It's like, what if you are choosing to be here every day? What if that is a choice? What if being here is not something you're just stuck with? You know, what if it's something like, oh, well, I'm here, and I chose it. Okay? So when we come back, we're going to explore that a little bit more. And the last segment, which I can't believe, we're coming up to the last segment. Okay? So this is, whoops, sorry for the noise. This is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You. And we're on A2Zen.fm, and we will be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body, and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
When you're pondering the big questions like, is there more than this? How can I have a happy relationship? What would it take to like my body? And how do I make more money? Where do you go for information and tools? Check out the online store at accessconsciousness.com. Accessconsciousness.com has books, DVDs, instant video and audio downloads, online classes, and so much more. Subjects include abuse, changing your body, recovery, raising children, business techniques, tools to generate more money, how to have better sex and healthier relationships, just to name a few. At accessconsciousness.com, you can also find facilitators who teach local classes on a variety of subjects. Accessconsciousness.com, your one-stop shop for tools to assist you in changing your life. All of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. Go to accessconsciousness.com to learn more.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back. This is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You. Thank you for joining us for quite an interesting topic of what if life wasn't about avoiding death? And what if just in the acknowledgement that death is a choice allows you to perceive that, you know what, life is a choice too. And somebody in the chat room was talking about, I said just really quickly that when you wake up in the morning, you've chosen to come back to your body. And it's like, I wanted to explore that just a little bit more in the few minutes that we have left. It's such a fun little trend I've been doing of like, let's introduce a big topic in the last 5 minutes. Because I'm cute that way, because I can. And honestly, that's where the energy goes. But yeah, it's like, who sleeps? Who slumbers? Do you, the infinite being, sleep, or does your body sleep? Okay? Your body actually sleeps. So what do you and the infinite being, actually do during nighttime? What if you go out wandering around? One time, this was so fun. I was dating this gentleman, and as I was going to sleep, I had the quote-unquote thought, oh, I would so love to be with him right now. We were in the same city, so same time zone and everything, but for extenuating circumstances, we couldn't actually sleep next to each other that night. And so as I went down to lay down to sleep, I would so love to be with this gentleman right now. And I remember waking up about 5 a.m. To go to the bathroom, or just, which came first? You wake up, you have to go pee, or you have to pee and wake up. It really depends. And I went back to sleep. And then what was really fun is when I talked to the gentleman the next morning, he's like, hey, do you realize you can't see me last night? I'm like, what are you talking about? And we actually paired times. He could actually perceive that I came to him in energetic form and just kind of snuggled up to him and spent most of the night there with him as me, the infinite being. And when I woke up about that 5 a.m. time, as he said, when I left, and what was interesting is we actually compared times, and he knew when I left, and that's when I woke up. So it's like, what do we actually do at night? The infinite being. And so that's why when you wake up in the morning, you are actually choosing life. You are choosing this reality. You are choosing the life you have created and generated. Because whether you like it or not, and I know this tends to piss off a lot of people, however your life and your body is, good, bad, ugly, you created and generated it. So now what would you like to choose, okay? So every morning you're waking up, you are actually choosing the life that you're living. But just in the acknowledgement of that, like, okay, then you get to choose something else. What would you like to choose today? That's when you start, Gary Douglas, founder of Access Consciousness, suggests starting the day with a question. It's like, if I'm living my life today, what would I choose? So true. If you were living your life today, if you were choosing to live your life today, which you woke up, you were choosing to live your life today, what would you choose? What would you be? What would you do? Okay? So everything doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive that. Would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Cool. Right, wrong, good, bad, for Paco, 9 shorts, boys, and beyond. And we run a more processes a couple times. It's like, okay, so at what age did you stop creating your body in favor of maintenance and avoiding death? Everything that is, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, Papaco, nine shorts, boys, and beyond. And if we've turned our body into maintenance, and we hate maintenance, most of us, not all of us, but quite a few of us hate maintenance. It's not the most fun part. So if our bodies have turned into maintenance, how much will we ignore our bodies because we want to do the maintaining? Okay? So just look at that really briefly. How much as the point of view of hating maintenance and our body is no longer creating but in the space of maintaining, so we believe that we will ignore our bodies. Everything that is, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Wrong, good, bad, Papaco, nine shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay? So what age did you stop creating your body in favor of avoiding death? Everything that is, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, Papaco, nine shorts, boys, and beyond. How much of your life are you living to avoid dying? And in that ain't no life, my friend. Everything that is, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, Papaco, nine shorts, boys, and beyond. So please look at this. If we will acknowledge that death is a choice, it lets us acknowledge that life is a choice, that we are choosing to live every day. Life, as well as death, is not something that just happens to us. And our bodies are not just something that happens to us. We choose to come back to our bodies every day. And what if we don't have to create a pain, suffering, disease to choose something else to get out? What if we can just go, next, and because you're choosing life, you're choosing death, you're choosing your body, you're choosing everything that is actually going on. And here's the kick, guys. If we're like, I refuse to choose, you know what? That is a choice, my friends. Look at the underlying point of view. You're refusing to choose. What you're actually doing is choosing not to choose, which by actuality is a choice. So you can't actually not choose. There's a fun little that'll make your head spin for the rest of the week. You're always choosing. And what would you like to choose today? Okay, life doesn't happen, death doesn't happen. You are choosing every day. So what would you like to choose? For me, I choose to laugh, I choose to giggle, I choose to have a good time. I choose to do some insane 4-hour marathon of radio shows, pre-recorded shows, but you know what, I'm having a great time. It's so much fun to be here with you guys. And you know what's fun about this is as these shows are airing later on in the week, it's fun to actually be able to perceive that. So thank you guys for joining us. It's always interesting to see where these shows go. When I talked about this topic of the show, I thought it would be a lot more about the actual physical death of the body, but you know what? Things go everywhere. And thank you for joining us. So remember, enjoy your body because it's enjoying you, and choose every day. You can't not choose. Have a great one.
Thank you for listening to Right Body for You. Donnielle will return next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A to Zen.fm. We hope you and your body will join us.